I'm here to assure you that I'm assuring you that I did this.
It's a great accomplishment and it's really
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, for sure, for sure. It's their first time. They are first author. I was following, and they were amazing. You know, they have been amazing.
Hmm.
So I think I performed my promise. I did it.
Yeah. Well, you're a man of your word. We know that.
Yeah. But, so what can you say, or what may you say to them, Dr. Ellen?
Well, I
Book
think
of
that
Springer.
yeah, I think this is an important book and that everyone should pat themselves on the back for contributing and participating and making something that started right in your brain. It's a very
Yes.
satisfying thing when that happens, and there are a lot of people that make it difficult along the way. And whoever was the author that was the last guy to turn in his chapter, you're going to remember that because it can be a painful process creating a book. And I'm just very pleased and proud of you for accomplishing this and for making it happen. And I think a lot of people will benefit from this book for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And the authors are the first one to benefit or to get the benefit of this book for sure.
Yeah,
Dr. Omar, yeah. Dr. Omar, when I started to ask you for this project, then you used your connection with Springer. I think it was a little bit hard to me for believing that we are about to make it. And the authors who are listening to me right now with were very frightened that you will make a lot of comments, make many comments on their work, but your feedback was very positive for every single chapter. So how was it?
Yeah, so I'll say first of all, everybody on the call, wonderful job. I think this is actually a good venue to show the paradigm of helping those behind you. So you guys get to see Dr. Alan Kay. So I'm
Yes,
sure you're all aware of who he is. This is the
yes,
guy that became a department chair in his low 30s and then has been department chair in multiple institutions in the United States and the Department of Anesthesia and has held multiple faculty titles. I've been working with Dr. K since I was a fellow myself, which is now about 9 years ago. So he's the reason why I'm in the position that I'm in now in my mid career because of Dr. K. So it's only fitting that he's on this call as well. I know Dr. Shahata will say the same thing as well. But feedback for you guys, yes, publishing and getting to know certain people and publishers does open certain doors. I'm glad that I was able to take advantage of that connection, but that's just the connection. You guys, we had an idea, you guys conceptualized that idea, and the quality of the writing and the effort that went into it made it a product that was worth a publishing company investing in, and you guys did a fantastic job.
Can you tell them what you told your wife about this small team in Egypt to make this hilarious project, make this amazing project? When you told me that you didn't believe that Islam, these students did that. Yes, I told you, yes, they did it with on their own. I just was like, guiding, not even interfering with them, and they did it perfectly, I think.
I you of course reviewing every chapter, it small things are small things. Dr. K will tell you in papers we do now, I have small things still that need to be changed in my papers now, but the quality of the work you guys did is unbelievable. And look, let's be frank about the how monumentous this is. You guys now have a line on your resume that nobody can take away from you. I
Yeah.
was telling Dr. Shahata this yesterday on the phone when we spoke. You know, all of us are physicians and we do an important job helping patients. Obviously, look at Dr. K's running 4 ORs right now. Very small amount of physicians will publish a book, and you guys now have that line in your
That's
resume,
right.
and
That's
that is
right.
a big that is a big deal.
It's a
You know,
very big deal. It's a very big deal. Most everyone who's a physician never publishes an article, never publishes certainly a book chapter or a book. So it's really something to take a pause and really celebrate today. So
yeah. So I just want to add something. Being the first author in book chapter, it's like a great accomplishment that, for me, I didn't get it till I started working with Dr. Ellen. Before Dr. Ellen, I made the whole job. Then I was the second author, the third author, somewhere in between. But after working with Dr. Ellen, Islam, you did this, you will be the first author. So I just did what he had done to me, what he has done, because he's still doing this for me. And I think that's my question to you. For naive author, it's their first experience. They are the first author, and the last author are for professor somewhere in US or in UK. Is this like amazing one, an amazing achievement?
well, it's a learning process. It seems like when you do your first few articles or book chapters, it's just the hardest thing to do, but over time it gets easier as you learn writing skills and look at it from a kind of a 30,000-foot view. Um, um, and it's important because you can advance in your career very, very fast in that most everyone else has nothing. So that's how I got to be chair in my middle 30s. They circled my resume, my birthday when I interviewed. I knew that was not a good thing. I saw it there when I sat down for the interview, but by the end of the day, they made me the chairman at Texas Tech. So it's
Tell us not the steps, but the concept in your mindset at the early 30 to make this great, super great
well,
achievement at the rate 30?
Well, it's very funny, Islam. I signed up. So, so I was at Harvard, and I had written in my personal statement that I wanted to do a PhD in pharmacology, which I
Yes.
thought would make sense. My chairman of my medical school developed sevoflurane, Dr. Burnell Brown, and he had a PhD. And I said, that must be good. I'm going to get one. When I showed up to Mass General Hospital at Harvard, the first day, there was a guy who started with me who was 10 years older than me. And every other word was a 4-letter word because he had just done a PhD, and he said, this is the worst thing in the world. I wish I had never done this. Don't ever
Yes.
do this. He had not gotten paid for 10 years. They kept him there. And he was very bitter and angry. And I said, boy, I'm never going to do that. I'll never do that. Well, within a year, my wife said, I'm not living here. I want to go back to New Orleans because all these people in Boston are mean and angry and yelling at us.
Yeah.
So the chairman at Tulane pulled out my file and he said, you know what? You are our first pick. We'd love to have you here. We can put you in that PhD program. And my wife was crying in the corner of the room. It was snowing. It was 2 degrees. And I said, sir, I'd love to do the PhD. And I figured in 2 years I'd be done with it. Well, so this is all a terrible accident, is what I'm saying. I showed up there and I did anesthesia and I did the PhD. And at 2 years, when I thought I might be done, they said, you're further behind than when you started. because
Yes.
they also were mean and they knew they could keep me for 7 years. And so they had 5 more years to take advantage of me. And there I was, 7 days a week, working every day, weekends, holidays, past 1 in the morning. And finally, after 7 years, with the guy counting every paper I worked on, I eventually learned from the guy who was very famous and quite excellent how to write a paper. Now, I would think it would take less than 7 years, but I assure you, by the time it was 7 years, I was well versed on how to write one. And again, not that I liked him at that moment, but within that year, I was made the chairman at Texas Tech because all the other
Your
anesthesiologists on the
second
planet.
chairman position, yes? Second chairman position.
Yeah, so I became the youngest tenured associate professor at Tulane. Within 3 years, I was running the residency, picking the residents, and then really to escape the guy, to get out of there because I wanted to get away from this maniac.
Yeah.
I applied for the chairmanship at Texas Tech. And before the day was over, and I had to look on a map because I didn't know where I was, I'd never been there. It's in
Yeah.
Northwest Texas. They said, "We want to make you the chairman." And I went home and I told my wife, and she thought that it was a practical joke because I was so young. And there I was, a tenured professor, program director, and all of a sudden I realized this PhD is a pretty good thing, and writing papers is a good thing. Now, I had probably 30 papers by then,
30 papers.
and I was made chairman with 30 papers. Well, that's not 1,000, that's 30.
Yes.
And so what I'm saying is
I
that
think it's all about the quality, not the quantity.
yeah, and they were good basic science papers. The point of it is that this is a skill like learning to intubate or doing a pain procedure that you can learn writing a book chapter with good mentors to show you the ropes and help if you have connections with people who are successful or are editors of journals. They can invite you to work on things that will be published. All of it is on your resume. And again, everyone else has nothing on their resume. And so you could see how I advanced. From there, I became a chair after 6 years there at LSU in New Orleans for 15 more years. And then I became the vice chancellor and provost and chief academic officer of the whole
Yeah.
health science center. Because by then I had more papers than anyone in the planet, probably,
Yes,
and
I know that. Till now.
so yeah, and people like Omar and I don't know. I just was minding my own business and you all emailed me or called me or whatever, and we did one paper and we did another and we did that's how it is. You can only do one thing at a time, focusing on one thing and getting it done and doing a good job. Then the next day, the next week, you can work on
So,
another
Dr. Ellen,
project, and it all and like today is a celebration of an entire book.
yes,
Uh,
I was, or I am, I like to highlight the 7 days work, this concept. Have you been working the 7 days in practice and hospital, or you mean the research, or you mean that you are minded with the work, with the research 7 days per week?
yeah. Well, the main thing is to enjoy what you're doing, and also be a good father or husband or parent, son, because that's important too. And there's plenty of time to do all of these things. And it just should be something that you should enjoy doing because you can learn a lot and be a better doctor by reading and working on projects like this that lead to articles and book chapters and even books. And so that's the whole point, is that education and learning, it's in many forms. And to be a good doctor, yes, you need to care and you need to try hard and you need to be smart, but you need to constantly want to learn and think about how things can be done and look at potential projects. And it can lead you to being a better doctor. I'm sure that Omar this week did things that other doctors don't do because he had read about it and he learned how to do it. He was telling me about peripheral nerve stimulation that he's doing a lot of in his practice. A lot of other pain doctors are not because they haven't learned how to do it. So you're never finished in your life. Education and learning is part and parcel with being a doctor. So you want to just always embrace learning, and whether it be a 2-page case report or an entire book, all of that leads to being a better doctor, being more educated, and helping others. And that's what all of this is all about in the end. It's not how big your resume it is. It's are you helping people as a doctor, and are
Yeah.
you providing for your family and being a good human being in this world?
Yeah, before switching to Dr. Omar, Dr. Naveen, she is the first author of your chapter, How to Find a Meaningful Research Question. She is a lecturer of pharmacology in one of the great Egyptian universities, and she is, she didn't believe herself that she will be the first author for a chapter that you are the last author. So I think it would be a great honor to her to just say a very brief word to you because she doesn't believe herself for sure. Dr. Naveen, here is Dr. Ellen Kay if you wanna say anything to him.
Um, Hi everyone. Thank you, Dr. Islam. Really, I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased. This book, it is my first trial to write a book chapter with those great scientists like Professor Alain and Professor Omar and you, of course. So it's my pleasure, and I hope to
You
read.
mean, do you remember when did you remember do you remember when you told me I revised the resume of Dr. Alan Kay? It's about 18 pages and every single row means a publication. You remember this?
Yes, yes, I was very surprised.
She told
Just
me
to
he
his
will
name.
will he accept to be the last author for me? I told him yes, he is very humble, and this is a
Mm.
very important character in Dr. Allen for sure.
Oh,
Yes, yes, yes.
Dr.
Thank you,
Omar,
greetings.
yeah,
well,
Dr. Omar,
congratulations. It's very nice to meet you by Zoom call.
Thank you, thank you.
yes, Dr. Omar.
Yes.
Yes. As you are still young and you are overwhelmed for sure with work, family, and even in the weekend you are, offering care for your babies. I know in our life, anesthesia or pain clinic is most confident caring 2 or 3 children, doing everything nonsense. Tell me and tell them for sure the importance of research beside being a great physician. And everyone here knows that you are one of the top 20 doctors in 2025. So, how you make the balance between a researcher and the physician, a great physician for sure.
Yeah, it's hard. I did my anesthesiology residency in Miami, Florida. Very good hospital, but very clinically oriented. I got a lot of cardiac anesthesia exposure. I don't think anybody wants me doing any sort of cardiac anesthesia anymore as a full-time pain doctor. We'll leave that for you, but and Dr. K. But and then I too did my fellowship at one of the Harvard hospitals, and that's where I started working with Dr. K. But it started in residency, my second year of residency. There was a patient we were getting ready to do a femoral nerve block on for a knee replacement, and we hooked up the patient to the monitor in the pre-op area, and we're seeing EKG changes, and I'm seeing Where's the disappearing P wave? And okay, something's not right here. Patient is stable though. Okay, we get the full 5-lead EKG. Patient's in full on AFib, right? So now we send the patient to the ER. Case, of course, is canceled. It's an elective knee surgery.
Yes.
Patient had bilateral pulmonary embolism, so ticking time bomb. Imagine doing an induction anesthesia and putting that patient on sevoflurane in the vent, and then throwing that clot even worse, right? For a knee replacement. So that first case report took me. My attendings didn't care about research, so I'm doing this by myself. I'm Googling. I didn't have Dr. K at that point. This was, I was a, PGY.
I think this is the hardest point here. Dr. Ellen was not there at this time.
but it also ties in, and I made this comment to some of the authors on this video. In my feedback to you was, I meant it. I didn't have this book that we just published when I was a resident. I'm literally going through Google trying to find the answers and navigating it. And it took 7-8 rounds because this was in anesthesia and analgesia, so very high impact factor.
Yeah, for sure. For one of the sharks.
It took me 6 months, and I finally got that acceptance. Just like today, that feeling was, I don't know, now it's been 10, whatever, 12 years ago now. I remember that feeling like it was yesterday, right? That invigorating feeling that you get that you've accomplished something. And I've never let it go. And even though, unlike Dr. K, who works that works in academics, I work in private practice, but I still publish because it's nice to help the medical students. It's nice to get outreach and become colleagues with everybody on this call. And I think it makes you a better doctor clinically.
Yes, I have two sisters in our research team, Tabia and Dania. They are coming from India to Egypt to study in my faculty, Ain Shams University. So I think they have a lot of words to say to you in just a couple of minutes. You can start, Tabia.
Sorry for the interruption, but before Tabia, we need to take a group picture because the meeting is gonna end in 3 or 2 minutes. We will
3
do
or
that
2 minutes. So can we take the photo, Dr. Ellen, Dr. Omar?
And I will take a screenshot for Dr. Omar and Alan K. You are lucky. You are at the center of the photo.
All right, let me excuse myself so that my patients live in the operating room.
Yeah,
there's some sick ones here, but anyhow, congratulations to everybody. Have a very great weekend and a good summer, and I hope we can all work together in the coming months and years. And Islam, congratulations to you. I know how excited you are, and Omar, great to see you over the Zoom.
Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Dr. Omar, we are very pleasant that you joined this meeting. I know you are about to work, and Dr. Allen are still working. And this is our message to you, younger researcher. Both of them are working, but they are still giving the value for the project. Their work didn't hinder joining the meeting, didn't hinder their research work. So I think it's a good inspiration. It's a real message to you. Tabia and Dania, if you are gonna say Dr. Omar for a couple of minutes, I think he is available right now because the meeting is about to end in 3 minutes.
Hi, good morning to you, actually, good evening to us, but it's a pleasure to be here and we're very happy to be here. So we're medical students, all of us just got into 4th year, and this was the first book chapter that we've written, and honestly, I am very grateful to Dr. Islam for the opportunity because it wouldn't be possible without it. I mean,
Dr. Omar holds the whole opportunity, not me.
Well, Dr. Omar, a big thank you to you as well, because we're willing to put in the work, we're willing to do in everything that's required to make the best chapter we could. But getting the opportunity in and of itself is, I think, one of the most important things as medical students. It's something that we need to, opportunities are something that we seek a lot of. And I learned a lot throughout writing this chapter. Like you start out knowing a couple of things, but by the time you reach the end of the editing process, you realize that you've gained so much knowledge throughout it all. So I'm very, very grateful for this, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully having more things to do in the future. Like Dr. Islam has given us opportunities
Yeah.
to work on other systematic reviews as well. So
Yeah.
there's a lot to do. I mean, we're looking forward to taking a biostatistics course over the summer. So looking forward to being more and more involved in the research world. Thank you so much for being here with us. You guys are truly an inspiration to us. I mean, hearing you, Dr. Alan
Dania.
K. Saber, thank you.
Yes. Dania, you can go.
Yeah, of course. I think I pretty much have the same thing to say. First of all, thank you so much for being here with us right now. And your story, as you said, when you did your first case report, it took you a really long time and the resources were so limited. And luckily, we do have a lot more opportunities. And especially with AI coming up, there's so much information at your fingertips. So, I mean, for me personally, doing referencing in this book was definitely a new experience. I learned a lot doing it, and I'm thankful for your reviews as well. Everything that you had to say and all the process through the book. Of course, I don't know the details of it all, but thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you so much, Dr. Islam. And I hope we get to work together more. I'm not sure how many opportunities will be there, but it's been wonderful. And thank you so much. And honestly, your work has been an inspiration. If I could ask one question, though, Dr. Omar, I wanted to ask if you did your undergrad degree in the US as well, or is it that you did USMLE? I just wanted to ask because it might be something that I'd be looking forward to doing in the future. So I just wanted to know.
So my parents are immigrants from India, but they came here. They came for graduate
Way before.
themselves, and
Okay.
they're in their 70s. So I was born in Chicago in the United States. So I did undergrad in medical school.
Okay.
In all the
Okay,
US.
makes
Please,
sense.
if you have any questions about USMLE, although it's post-traumatic stress disorder, I will happily talk to you about those tests. I can help you with that.
Last, Dr. Omar, for this, the last minute, I'm gonna mention every single author just for this
Thank you.
last. Thank you, Dr. Salwa from Cairo University. Thank you, Dr. Roa, Dr. Rudaina Ihab, Dr. Rudaina from the MTI, Dr. Ala, for sure, the discussion chapter, and for sure, Dr. Mariam for the team chapter. Thanks for all, Dr. Atif, Dr. Abdullah from Al-Munafiyah University, Dr. Muhammad from Qina. You know that it's one of the historical cities, Dr. Omar. You should visit one day when you come to Egypt for sure. Dr. Iman from my faculty, Dr. Ain Shams University, Dr. Manar, the systematic review, one of the most important chapters in our book. Dr. Minna and Dr. Tasneem for how to reply to reviewers. You know, they made that chapter in just less than 1 month, and this was amazing for me. Dr. Farah from Al Jalala University, Dr. Mu'taz, he is in Al Kuwait now, but I think he is joining us. And every single one I didn't mention. Thank you all. You like surpassed my imagination. Thank you all for that.
Thank you, Dr. Islam. Honestly,
Thank you.
truly
Thank you,
grateful.
Dr. Omar.
Great work, everyone. You guys all have my contact information, so email me. I'm happy to help you and advance your career in any way I can. There will be other projects. We're working on it right now. That's the way these things work, right? You guys worked hard. You have tangible proof of your hard work now. Let's keep the addiction going and let's work on number 2.
Yes, for sure.